I don't know if that really helps. Don't know if that, well, let me see what I got here. Guys, I've been getting lit up today. Lit up. And we already have 10 people. We already have 10 people here. And I've been getting lit up. People have been contacting me most of the day. I've got 30 messages on Facebook. I bet 5 on my regular. On my regular. It's funny how some people, it's like seeing a train wreck. I'm going to ramble here. If you guys don't know what's going on, 25 people already, man. We've been in a minute and a half. We've got 25 people on here. That ain't good. How in the hell? My computer's already low, which I don't need it anyway, but I kind of wanted to bring some shit on there that I was going to talk about. It's just, I love this effing job, man. I really do. The talking part, I can get away with. I actually like to talk a lot, so I'm one of those guys that carry conversation with a wall. That's a game camera. I'm kind of just looking at my computer, but I don't know if you guys have heard all the stuff that's being talked about today, and I'll get into that in a minute. I went on early, and I got a ton of people already. It's growing. It's growing. I've got a. I got to wrap everything up here. Who is that? That's the text message. I mean, you hear that thing going off? That's a text message that I got. I don't even know what that means, Cage. That must be some of that young shit he's talking to me about. But he should know that I'm going on right now. At least I'm 100% on this one. So we're not going to miss 43 people. But we're not going to get into that yet. We're not going to get into that yet. Of course. I'm agreeing with you. Of course. Here's another one too. This is another one of my buddies. Here's another one of my buddies. Guys, this is nothing but effing funny. It's like everybody with bated breath is listening to what I have to say tonight, or what I'm gonna say tonight about this shit. I called this shit, a while back. And I'm not gonna get too far into it because it ain't none of my damn business. What I'd like to know is, and you guys, I'm just gonna ramble a little bit here, but I'd like to know is on that senior side, I want to know what the list is. Because if you got, what was it, 700 names of people, I'd like to know what the senior list is. I want to know what the big names are too, if they are out there. But then again, here's the deal, guys. Oh shit, I'm getting into it way too much. I'm going to tell you in a minute here. I'm going to tell you my experience. 71, guys. Cage, 71. I'm going to tell you, there's a few things I'm going to tell you. It's going, my phone is going off. I'm going to tell you my experience with a lot of this shit. Okay. And I listened to Evan Hardy today with Uncensored Softball, and Softball Uncensored or whatever. I kind of watch him a little bit because, again, he talks about controversial shit, and I wanted to hear what he had to say. And I agree with a lot of stuff he has to say. Actually, whenever this started going off, and I'm kind of teasing y'all because y'all tune in here in another 15 minutes when I get to it after I've started all this other stuff, is what I will say is that you don't know what's clickbait or you don't know what's the truth now. So really don't know. I'm going to tell you my experience with the list, because in my opinion, I think there is a list. And just by my experience on what's been happening through senior softball, I knew it was, and I kind of mentioned it a little bit with a lot of people would ask me what's the severity of shape bats being in senior ball or shape bats being in conference ball. And I didn't know that much about conference ball, but I knew there was a pretty good high percentage of ones at senior ball. And I once called it like 30%, I think 25% of 30% years ago, when people wanted to know about that. And I'm gonna just tell you guys my experiences. And if you guys tuned in, got 80 right now. If you guys tuned in to hear me talk about a list, I'm not going to do that. I talk about people on the list. So if you guys tuned in to hear me say that, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to name any names on people that are on that list, because that's their list. It's not my list. I don't have any proof that these guys did do that. I really don't. That's their deal. That's not mine. Do I think there is a list out there from bat shavers? You damn right I do, because I've talked to a bat shaver years ago about it. And he told me, he was a retired guy. He told me he has a list of every one of them. And I didn't ask for it, or nor did he give it to me. And he said that I won't tell anybody what those people are. So I'm going to go into it in depth in a little bit. I've got 91 freaking people up here right now that want to know what I have to say. And I've got a lot to say about it, but I'm not going to point fucking fingers at anybody. If you guys come up here for me to indulge in the list and talk about the list, you might as well just jump off, because I'm not going to point any fingers. I do, although the boom has been on my ass and talking shit and had said some bad things about other people too, but they're looking for clickbait. And I understand that. This is something that I have preached against, and for years, even before Showports, that it's happening. And y'all guys have to be aware. If anything comes out of this, if anything comes out of what the boom did, the perfect boom, is awareness. And I applaud them for that. I really do. For once, they're actually moving in that direction of bringing awareness to softball alone across the board about there being a list, and they're going to expose the list, and they're going to start bidding people out. And I even heard that they got a ransom going on. If you want to be taken off the list, you better get your money ready, and all this other shit out there, right? 95 Cage 95. But what they're doing, in my opinion, and guys, it's conference ball. I really like to know about senior ball, but what they're saying. There's some big names on there. And Evan Hardy said it today. He said his biggest thing was, I want some big names. I want to know who, and what if these big companies, I understand the lower companies, but what if the big companies have a signature guy that has their name on it? That's what he's waiting on. I don't think he'll get it, but I think that's 99. Cage. We talk about this, and I kind of throw it in his face. We're going to get 100 here in a minute. I've only been on for 9 minutes. We got that many. I'm proud of you guys. And maybe if I wasn't, because I really don't care. I care about the shaving part, but maybe if, because I am with Showports now, and we're not going to get into that's the phone call I got this morning. You don't have names, do you? Or somebody was texting Jeff, or somebody had worked at Showports and said that Dave's going to release some names. I'm like, I ain't going to release no damn names. I even took off the name. I even took off the list whenever I said something about me coming on a podcast tonight, and somebody had put the list up there. I took it off because not getting into that shit. I'm not getting into that list stuff. That list stuff. I'm getting way ahead of myself, talking too much about this. But I'll tell you my experiences about the bat shavers out there. They're trying to make a living. I know they're trying to make a living. If and I'm not even friends with the guy that they're calling out that put this list out there, you know, or maybe they're not. Maybe that's not him, or maybe they're suggesting that it was him. Maybe. There was a guy that I talked to years ago that called me, and I'll get into that in a minute. I know I'm moving way too, but I want to get into this shit. You know, I must kind of drag you guys along. Intro, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, guys. I got my Instagram channel blowing up. I got my YouTube channel blowing up. TikTok. What really is surprising the shit out of me is that YouTube membership channel. It's $5 a month, guys. Go and join it. That thing is blowing up, and I know you guys. There's a couple of things I want to talk about that because it actually went off pretty good last Sunday. I usually have Sunday podcast about that. It's question and answers. I can get into it with you guys about the question and answers that are going on. And you can ask me anything, and up to a point, I won't build a bat for you, but up to a point, I'll tell you weight distribution numbers, but up to a point, I kind of talk to you guys about anything that you have questions about, anything that's a rumor that has been set out there. You get on that membership channel and get a hold of me. It's only $5 a month. I'm doing bat giveaways. When I moved to Savannah, Georgia, I'm going to do bat giveaways once a month, once every couple of months. I'll do some batting gloves. Actually, Sam Grisham won some batting gloves the other day because he called out I talked about a video on Jerry Clower, which was a comedian from back in my day, that had said something about give him a sporting chance. And I kind of asked, I'd give something away if somebody came up with a comedian that said back in my day. And he did, which was pretty amazing because I thought that would never be answered. And he answered it pretty fast. So membership channel, guys, it's blowing up. Going to have monthly giveaways on bats. It might be used. It might have it will not be under a 170 compression if I do give those bats away. So definitely we're going to do that with that membership channel. It'll only be me alone, just talking to people. I won't bring anybody on. It'll just be me alone venting and actually answering your questions. So last week I was on it for like an hour and a half. So I do get through a lot of things that I won't get on this channel. You know, I'll talk a little bit more about, you know, on this next Sunday, I'll talk a little bit more about the list. And I'm going to explain about the list here in a minute. You know, you guys are going, a lot of you guys are going, what the hell's the list? They're not in tune. Well, a lot of my senior guys aren't in tune with social media, and I'll kind of talk about that here in a minute. So here's the deal too. Short Porch Cutting Edge is my website, right? It's going to be up. They're going back and forth. This shit's getting funny, man. I'm reading a lot of this shit that they're going back and forth at each other. But you know what? A lot of people are out there, and you know the guy in the theater eating popcorn, and they're looking, and you've seen that meme everywhere. That's just what this shit's turned into, and it's pretty damn funny. But what comes out, and I'm going to be serious for 2 seconds here, and then I'm going to go off in a minute about this shit. But what's funny, what's really serious about this shit is we're bringing awareness to the problem, and there is a problem. You know, this is just proving it. And I'm not saying here nor there on either one side or the other. If they're using it for clickbait, I don't give a shit. At least they're bringing awareness to the problem, because there is a problem. And I've said there's a problem about this shit for a long time. And it's in senior ball too. I want to see the list in senior ball, and I know they have it. Whoever's got it, I know for a fact, because I was talked to by a bat shaver that retired about 5 months ago. I mean, 5 months, about 5 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago. So that's when I was preaching about it, and I was trying to get everybody aware of it. So, gentlemen, there is a list somewhere. I don't know if it's with them. I don't know if they're popping off to try to get awareness, because that's usually when I watch that channel, usually that's what I see is they're trying to get that one hit wonder, right? Where everybody starts to just pile on and look at them or join their channel. I'm not a part of that channel. I do not want to be a part of that channel, but I don't care if you are. they're bringing entertainment. If it's not entertainment, then they're bringing awareness. So that's what I like about it, right? And they can do whatever they want to. It's just not my style of doing shit, right? But whenever I call up here, whenever I get up here, it's called shots fired. That is something that I really do. We actually broke a record right now, 122 people watching. That's a record, gentlemen. It's still growing. Into it for 15 minutes. And I do applaud Evan for what he's talking about, what he's saying, because that does bring awareness. Every time you see this, you got 122 people watching tonight. It's bringing awareness to what's happening. And I think that's effing great, right? Right or wrong, lawsuit, no lawsuit. It doesn't matter to me right now. I don't care. I think it's amazing that this is happening. I'm not going to get into the list and call people out. I have what's being published as the list, and they say they have more. So I'm not going to get into that. I do applaud those guys for bringing awareness to it and bringing this many people watching my podcast, and I hear what I got to say about it. And because it is a problem, I would love for people to be aware, and then of it going to 2026. Because I don't want somebody to die on a field by getting smoked by a shaved bat. That's what I don't want, And I said this years ago when I was doing podcasts too. I mean, if we can have somebody that just decides not to do it because of the risk, that's we've got somebody off doing it, right? And a lot of people go, why do you got to shave a senior bat? Well, there's people out there that do say shave senior bats. And we have smoked that record, 128 people watching right now. And great. I think this is funny too. And I kind of laughed at it today when Evan had put out there, it's called the Batstein list, right? Because they have a list, right? The Batstein, the Epstein, right? You guys get that? The Epstein and the Batstein, they kind of put that together called the Batstein list. And they threw that together because it's never going to be put out, right? They're all 700 or whatever you have, 300 or 700. It's not going to be put out because they're actually trying to get everybody to watch. Like everybody talks about the Epstein list is out. What's going to happen to them? Okay, you've been busted. You had your bat shaved. Then they can come back and say, well, I shaved it just see how I did testing on it, so I got it shaved, or I did this, or I didn't use it in tournaments, but I did get it shaved through that company. If this is actually true, this is the only thing I'm saying. If this is, I'm giving you different kinds of shit, man. I'm going from one side to the other. Don't put all of your rocks in one basket and saying this is the guy's fucking boom, he's done, right? He got a bat shave. What if he was getting shaved for someone else? What if he comes back with proof he's getting shaved? What if he was hitting it a home run derby? Because in home run derbies, guys, you remember, you can swing it ever you want to. Hey, I was hitting this home run derby, and I got it shaved, but I didn't swing in the game. It's when they get busted in a game, right? So that could be one of the things that they're saying, because of the list, right? And if you guys don't know about the list, I'll kind of go through it a little bit here. There's a list that's out there from a bat shaver that is well known, that makes his living by shaving bats, and which I understand what he's saying. Why would I put out a list? Because this is how I make my money. This is how I make my living. I have family to feed, right? So why would he put out a list? And he'd be fucking, nobody would ever go to him again because they found out he put out a list. And there's some people saying that he was paid money to do this, right? He was paid a lot of money to do this. I'm like, God, guys, you're going down, like Evan said, you're going down a rabbit hole, you're not asking the right questions is what he said too today. You're not asking the right questions, guys. You gotta, and I'm just giving you shit you can ask, and they always have something to say about the question, right? I was getting it done for someone else. I was getting it done for a home run hitting contest. Did you see me swing that bat? Do you have video of me swinging that bat in the game? The same bat in the game. Do you have that video? Okay, so I didn't use it in games, right? I was doing kind of a test with this bat better than the other one, so definitely you guys need to ask the right questions, like Evan said today. And I'm not stealing any kind of shit that Evan said it. I'm giving him prompts on, at least he is saying shit, 131. Cage 131. But I thought the Batstein list was pretty effing funny. Whenever you said that, I thought that was pretty funny, because everybody knows about the Epstein list and nobody knows who's on the Epstein list. So that was pretty funny, guys. But yeah, a membership channel. Get out there, join that. I'll talk a little bit about the list on Sunday, probably go a little bit deeper than what I am now because I'm not as censored. I got a few phone calls from corporate today, David, you're going to put out, who told you I was going to put out the damn list? I'm not going to put out no shit. I know the repercussions. Do you not know who my wife is? Do you not know who my wife is? You think that I would put out a list of these guys? Would I have been proven that they did it? That I would put out a list of any guy out there that was caught? I wouldn't even take that. Even if they were fucking found guilty, I would not take that shit and put it anywhere next to me. That's their shit. That ain't mine. I'm not the fucking bat shaving police. Talked about it in the past, but I know the repercussions that can come from that if you're effing wrong. You not know who I live with, a human resource person. She was in charge of the Spurs and all that department, from what not to say and what to say, right? She's in my back pocket. I'm not going to say anything that's going to incriminate me or my company that I work for. Not my company, the Short Porch Company. And people are, because of what I've said in the past, they're like, oh shit, you better get hold of Dave before he says something, or he's going to indulge it. Whoever lied about it said, you ought to be shot. Whoever lied and said that I was going to put out the list, I kind of know who said it, but that's bullshit. They think I'm this loose cannon. So they gotta just to make sure, man, I wouldn't even put that out. You ain't get me close to that shit, but I will talk to other people. Excuse me. See, this is what I get, man. I can't even say shit on the live podcast. I can't even say shit on a live podcast because I might get in trouble. Terry Epstein, my ex-coach from back in the day, ERA. Terry Epstein. I can say his name as much as I want, So I was talking about Terry. But that was pretty funny whenever they put out there about the Batstein list. That was pretty funny, and nobody's going to get repercussions from it. But it does bring viewership. It brought viewership to me tonight. We've tripled what we usually bring in. So I think, and here's the guy. Here's the part that I like about it. You guys want to know. You want to. It's going to bring awareness to. It's going to bring awareness to what's happening out there, right or wrong. And as long as it does that, I'm happy. As long as it does that for us, for everybody out there, us seniors out there, or us softball players out there that don't bend the knee and don't cheat so they can achieve greatness. I think that's a benefit to a lot of us out there. I'll get more into that in a minute. Short Porch Cutting Edge, that is a website. I want to show you guys something about that website too. Thank you. I can't tell you who's texted me either, but I'll get into that. On this, I've got some things that I have to. Okay, this is what you're getting when you go on to shortporchcuttingedge.com. It has a list of all of my weight distribution numbers on there, and it has a list on what better bat speed of that bat fit. Right. So when you get on there, you're going to get this pop up. It says this will you quit? And I know you can hear me. And it's only because it's text to me that'll respond. I don't get what you're doing here. Will you quit? It says the Short Porch Cutting Edge. It says this website may be impersonating www.shortporchcuttingedge.com to steal your personal or financial information. You should go back to the previous page, and that's bullshit, because in that saying on the bottom of it, it actually has something where it says click to go to the page. You need to click to go to the page because I'm not set up with any kind of credit card information in there. So you're not gonna whenever you get in there, you're just going to bring up the information. I don't have any worry we can buy stuff. So I'm not trying to steal anybody's shit. And why they did that, because I just paid $280 for that website a year. Now I get a hold of them about 6-8 months ago when people were making me aware of this, and they were saying that that I actually have to pay another $250 to get it secured. I'm not doing that shit. So I tried to get my money back, which they just charged me on during Christmas time. And I tried to get my money back, and they're like, they denied it. So I got to get a hold of Gus GoDaddy. Make sure I can say the GoDaddy. Sarah, you want to check on that? Make sure I can say GoDaddy, since you're the police on here tonight. The police. So, yes, just click on the little, when you go to the bottom of that where it says all that warning shit, just go to the bottom of that and get into the page. Keeping a lot of people from looking at that information, which is very valuable to a lot of seniors out there. You trip guys, we'll talk later about that stuff. But definitely, get on that Short Porch Cutting Edge. I will update it before I go to Savannah, which is at the end of January. Is the plan that I want to get to go there. Now I'm going to talk a little bit about this stuff, man. It's, and I know you guys are waiting on that too. So to see what I have to say, what the list is, and I kind of give you guys an update, is a full list of conference players that are out there. That's why I come out a little disappointing when I was trying to get, hey, I want to know what seniors are on this list. So let me tell you guys a story, a little bit. There about 4 years ago, I'm gonna say it's roughly about 4 years ago, I was preaching so much. Every podcast that I did is about shade bats. Well, I kind of said in the podcast from 4 years ago that I thought there was a bunch of pro players swinging shade bats. And the only reason that I know this is because I was told who the pro players were from the bat companies that represented the players. And I never said anything. That's the one thing I will say about what I do is I don't rat people out like that. I hear a bunch of stuff, but unless I'm there, I've always been this way. Unless I'm there and see it, I'm not going to say anything, even if it does come from the bat manufacturer, the owners, or the people that, why did you get rid of him? Well, we caught him doing something. And guys, it's not across the board like this. There's not from what I heard back in the day, there wasn't a lot of them. There was just these people looked up to these guys. And I'm not trying to say this, give a bad name to a lot of the guys that do represent their brand and represent. I'm just saying there is a small group of them that actually do it. It's just different bat companies across the board that did it. Because people confided in me because they know that I wouldn't be that loose lips and go around talking shit about it, even on my podcast when I would do podcasts. So they kind of knew that. So I knew there was a problem. And whenever I started kind of hinting around that, guys, we have a problem here. So yes, it is happening. Well, what happened during this time, I had a text message from a well-known bat shaver that said, can I talk to you? And I said, yes. And then got his number and I called him up and he started telling me that he has a list, right? And that I was right, that on that list, there's your regular people that get it done, your AA and your AAA, but then he went up to the majors and major plus. But on this list, he had about 10 very well-known guys that were out there that he did close to $170,000 to $100,000 a year shaving bats, right? But he did them listen to this shit, he did them for the youth too, fast pitch bats. He did them for baseball bats too. So that was a big deal that he would run all these bats through him, and he would get paid damn good money because he was that good at it. And he would shave these bats either with a honer, because they do it with a honer, or he would do it with a lathe. So the list has always been there, and he's always had a list, and he probably stuck them to the side just in case, right? Because everybody out there, everybody watching here tonight, I've got 133 people watching tonight, and everybody watching, you guys know that you always cover your ass. You always cover your ass, man. I covered my ass for 15 fucking years. So you always cover your ass and shit. Everybody does. A lot of corporate, a lot of people up there cover your ass. You have this little ace in the hole because you're not doing anything wrong. You're doing a service, or it doesn't matter what you think about the service, but you're always going to cover your ass. So people, you got to list. You got to list. You know, it's insurance, or it's receipts is what it's called now. You know, I have receipts on all this shit, right? And I'm a firm believer in having receipts, you know, about he said, she said bullshit, right? So there is a list, and he didn't tell me that he had 10 really high profile. And at right now, from what I know right now, you know, I don't know if they're still, because it's a few years ago, I don't know if they're still playing softball or not, because that was on the senior market, right? Because it said seniors was pretty big in shaving bats. So definitely there is a list out there. I'm not doubting there is a list with these guys. I really not, because I was told by a well-known bat shaver that there is a list, that he has a list and he's keeping the list, but he will not tell me. He did not tell me anybody that was on that list, because I kind of asked a couple of questions. I'm going to block you. And what it is he didn't tell me about it, because there was a couple of people I wanted to really know, because during that time there was some stuff going on with a well-known rumored bat shaver, and I just had to know. I wasn't going to talk about him, but I just had to know. So anyway, and he said, no, I'm not going to do that. You know, although he was retired, he said he didn't want to get back into it, and he wasn't going to indulge the list, because that's just not the way that he works. And he didn't want to be he didn't want to be Jose Canseco, right? He didn't want to be barred or banned or whatever, you know, because they kind of treated Jose Canseco like shit during that time where he exposed all the steroid era. I fucking hate him for doing that, because that was the best time. It was, I don't think I've watched softball since then. I mean, baseball since then. I don't think I've watched baseball since that era, you know, and Jose brought it all down, you know, he did. I mean, he exposed everybody. And I don't think this guy wanted to do that, you know. So, and I probably know the guy that gave up the list, or what, if there is a list, or I don't know about that, because there is some names being thrown out there, you know. So I don't even know what's going on. Like I told my guys a little bit today, is let's just kick back and see what's going on. I do know, because I've talked to people in the past, I do know that there is something going on. You've got to, when you're doing this with somebody for so much long period of time, you know, you do create a friendship or a reputation with this person, and they do have your name down. It might not be, might be put on pen and paper, but it doesn't matter. You know, and here's the deal. What if somebody came up to you and offered you this ungodly amount of money for that list? What's the way the integrity is to a lot of people out there? You're going to, damn, I can use that money, you know, and I'm getting out of the business, or I'm doing something else. I don't know. The other, I'm giving you the hindsight, the other scenario on what can be happening. So definitely, the list is, you know, if you guys didn't hear me before, the list is that there's somebody out there that has a list of 700 conference players that he's going to start putting out, you know, that have well known to get their bat shaved. And I don't know how much of that is true. I'm just telling you guys, let's not jump head first into the short end of the pool and dive right into it, you know, and then all of a sudden the list was fake, or the list was something just to get clickbait. That would be the messed up shit about all this, because you've already exposed names. And I actually looked at a couple of those names, and they are really people out there. And if you guys noticed on that list of names, there are people that are out there have well over 2,000 followers, you know, they're a part of that, you know. So I don't understand that part. You know, one guy had 5,000, 6,000 followers, and then he's been thrown out there on that list. What do those people have to say? Are they coming out, and are they saying anything to contradict what the other people are saying? Or was it just, you know, I think, here's the deal about me. I think it'd be messed up for you to do clickbait about the list and put people's names out there. you can get in trouble for that shit. You can get bad trouble for that shit. I know that, and I'm not as smart as those guys. Shit, that's common sense. You throw people underneath the bus in this corporate world, right? You're asking for trouble. Why would you even go there for clickbait? Is it really worth it to get clickbait for that shit? You know, I don't. Um, it's just funny that that we've gone that far in our society, if it is even. I heard today, when I was talking to somebody, I heard today that the list is fake. I heard that it was all bullshit. It was just to get clickbait. Now, we don't even know if that's true or not. We don't even know if that's the reason. Maybe they got threatened and they're just saying it's clickbait now. Oh, we were just bullshitting. That's fucked up too. Just to let you know, if you did it that way, you gotta. It's like this very smart person told me earlier today. You got to put shit on a pendulum when you're making decisions. And I've done this all my life, and I was kind of impressed when he talked to me about it, Jeff. You got to put shit on a pendulum, right? In life, you got to, one outweighs the other way you make your decisions, right? What made you think that was going to be a good decision just to get clickbait? So that kind of turns me away. Maybe they didn't do it. I don't know. I'm just throwing out suggestions because I have 140 people watching tonight, which has broke every record that we have had in since I've been doing this. So I thank you guys for that. And I know a lot of you guys tuned in just to hear my 2 cents in, whether because I have that reputation of being very outspoken, unless I'm interrupted, every 5 minutes about what I could and what I cannot say. That wasn't even human resources telling me I can't say his name, So yeah, when the wife dings me because she's watching, then I'll go ahead and I'll go ahead and stop. But she ain't done. Well, there she goes. That's not her. Now there's somebody not watching because they're asking another question about something. Hang on. I'm on a podcast. I'll get back with you. Or I should say I'm on a roll on my podcast. I'll get back with you. Oh man. Somebody too on that thing asked me about just to get through that, because I know a few people are going to be looky here.
What's up, my man?
What is up, brother? Now that
Nothing,
what did I tell you today? Right? About the everything that was going on tonight. I said, I bet we're going to break a record tonight. I bet we'll break a record tonight.
And I said you were going to be on here stirring up shit, and here we are.
But here's the deal, and I know you'll agree with me on that too. And like we talked about this today, is let's just sit back and wait. I mean, you never jump at the first the first things that comes out of somebody's mouth. You always sit back and let's wait to see before you open your own mouth. Or I'm talking about me, open my own mouth about saying what I want to say. So I was actually preparing people for, hey guys, let's just wait and see how this pans out, or what comes out of it, but here's the deal. And we're pulling in 144 people tonight at one time. We're at 136 right now. And those people want to know what do we know? I don't know if it's true or not, but it got us a lot of people watching tonight. So that's fine with me, and I never said I was going to say some names tonight. So, or nor would I say any names, even if it was anybody out there, even if I see another list of the senior players, I'm not going to sit out there and call them out for that shit. That's their doing.
No, we're not the softball police guys. We're here to, we have a brand to push, and Dave was at the forefront of bringing awareness of such things that could get players injured, and it's just something that, like health and nutrition. Dave gives awareness to players out there about a long laundry list of things, and I hope all y'all keep tuning in to Dave to get tips and other things about softball. as we all should. We all have a lot to learn still in life.
Agree, agree. And it's little things that I've learned over through the years. And
Yeah, man.
and
Absolutely.
the one thing I will say earlier is if it brings awareness to that thing that I'm not in charge of, because if it would be different if I work for like let's say SSUSA, then
Yeah.
then then it would be different. I can get up there and voice my opinion. But what I've learned through the years is you gotta pick your battles, right? And there's because of my wife, there's some battles that I choose not to get into because I don't that ain't none of my damn business for one, here's the deal. All in all, we're gonna quit talking about this right now. But all in all, what it did was bring awareness to what's
Yeah,
happening
that's
out.
what we're trying to do, bring awareness to anything that when it comes to safety. We talk about it all the time, and safety just doesn't mean batted ball injuries. Safety, 99% of injuries in softball is hamstrings and knees and ankles and preparation that Dave talks about a lot. And guys, especially on the senior side, you have to work harder to take care of yourself to keep from getting injured. Now, I know the young guys, they probably don't want to hear it because they go out there and play 10 games, run into the fence 4 times, bust their head open, and they wake up the next day just fine. But it's a little different on the senior side of softball. But let's face it, most injuries have nothing to do with bats or balls or anything like that. They're outside of that, and I think you do a great job of bringing awareness to that also, just from anything about health and nutrition, from stretching. I know Brandon talks a lot about the training and things like this, and I commend you guys on just helping everybody lead a better life, and just take care of yourself. If you want to be an athlete, even if it's a weekend warrior, rec ball athlete, man, take care of yourself. You don't want to do something that's going to hurt 10, 15 years from now. I promise you, Dave and I probably got 10, 15-year-old injuries nagging us right now.
That's a
So
fact right there.
that's a
That's
fact.
totally a fact. But like somebody said this the other day, and I'm not going to call his name out because he's a well-known YouTuber, and we had talked about the shoes from Hoka, and if
Yeah,
any
absolutely.
senior out there doesn't have a pair of Hokas, because they got the cleated ones like the trails or whatever, the trail mix or
Yeah.
whatever, and
Speed
then they
goat.
got, yeah,
Yeah.
and those are good because they're actually good on our feet, right? Well, they had this conference player actually reply to that, go, I don't see understand what the big deal is, and he kind of, I don't know why he said this, but I don't understand. I buy the cheapest, flattest shoes out there, and I can still ball it. And I'm like, dude, we're not talking about you. You're freaking
Yeah.
35 years old. You're
Yeah,
35
we're
effing
talking
years
about
old,
us.
man. Okay, here's the
Yeah,
deal. Keep that in your brain and come back and talk to us whenever you're
yeah,
65. All right. And you're going like, oh, then some bitches were right. My feet are killing me.
yeah.
That's when you'll
I think
notice it when
too,
you get older.
if you're somebody like us, and I know you and I know a lot of people get done with the games, they may change their shoes, they may can run and go eat or come back, or even if they have a break. But if you're us, we may be after the game standing there 3 hours, 4 hours talking on our feet,
Yeah.
and we may not change our shoes and things. So it's really applicable to me and you, because we're on our feet all day out there.
Yeah.
Just not playing. We're on our feet after the game. We may not change our shoes, things like this. So yeah, the Hokas are great. There's a reason why every podiatrist, they only talk about the Hokas for the most part.
And they're
They're
well,
they're they're built for such things, to help people that need it, to help those who need it. And if you don't, good for you. I wish I was you.
yeah.
I wish I was me 20 years ago, So
The one thing about the hook is if you're over 250 pounds, they kind of sway on you a little bit, but they're
yeah,
great for walking. I'm only one playing softball. They'll sway a little bit, but 250
yeah,
pounds, it's great for walking. But if you're playing
yeah,
softball, that's the only thing that actually, but shit, I'm
yeah.
down below
I could see
250
that.
now. Definitely.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, man. But yeah, we were paying attention. Big crowd tonight. YouTube, all the Facebook, every streaming service. put together. It was one of the larger um, groups we've ever had watch. So thank all of you who are watching tonight. And I know a lot of people are tuning in wanting to see the Scared After Dark that will be showing soon. As the Scared After Dark, I will go ahead and say we do not have the release date, but it'll be between Friday and Wednesday, as the shipping lanes are just crazy right now. We're trying to get it ironed down where we can get it all set up to launch. And with the holidays, we kind of hoped we wouldn't run into this, but we did. So right now we can't announce exactly when, but what we're going to do over the next couple of days is we will announce it. We will put a clock on our website. Last time our clock, it didn't match with the West Coast. So when it was counting down, but we're going to get that fixed and talk to Bob out on the West Coast. So when we were live on the East Coast, they were still showing the countdown clock on the West Coast. But that was a website error that we had no idea happened. We
Yeah.
didn't know until after it all happened. But we're going to put a countdown clock and what day, and work with all our partners and retailers that carry our bats. Um, that when we launch it, there are way more inventory than the Christmas bats, obviously,
Yeah.
and we are still expecting to sell out, which is a great thing for us. The scared bats have been hugely popular, so it's now somebody's calling me like they know. You would think everybody would know. Well, it's not Wednesday night, so I'll cut everybody some slack on the phone calls on Tuesday night.
Well, they're sitting
um,
at home getting ready because I guess tomorrow's a holiday and the next day's a holiday too. So they just want to get in touch. Like I just had somebody, Rick, just contacted me and talking to me about the DDT. I hit it
yeah.
in practice, and I'm like, dude, we're on a big podcast tonight
Yeah.
that has broke a record. So I can't believe these guys are not in tune with this shit, but they can get a lot of information
Yeah.
from here. But um, I wanted to go through a list of on this Scared After Dark bat too. It's going to be available for it's going to be able for everybody, right? It's going to the reps and everything too, right?
Yeah, it's going to be widely available. And the whole thing with the Grinch, there was only 360 of them. Uh, and what had happened is we just had a last minute idea to make the Christmas Grinches. So there was 360 of each, senior and U Trip guys. And this is just U Trip. This is the senior version of this is the Dave 2026 Blackout. That will launch a week behind this bat, or maybe even sooner. So this is the Scared U Triple SA bat. It has our new X composite, which is a Kevlar based composite that we've been working on. That we all have been hitting for about last 6 months. Though Alan Hancock over in the Short Porch Gulf Coast has raved about it, swung it as he takes more cuts than we do because Alan is younger. And I don't know, Alan just hits 1,000, 2,000 balls a week, it seems like. So Dave and I can't hit that many balls, but we love it. This is why we've moved to it for 2026. Dave's 2026 Blackout carries the new X composite, and we wanted to have a big launch at the beginning of the year to start our year. And this has kind of been the hold. And what we wanted to put out first was our two most popular models, which is the Scared U Triple SA model right now and the Dave's signature Blackout DDT, which was our most popular model last year with our X composite. This was what we wanted to do. It's how we wanted to start the year. We're super excited about it. It's our best foot forward as the best products we can put on the field. And we didn't want to drop it in March or April. We wanted to do it day one of 2026 because it's a big moving year for Short Porch. And I'm super excited about it. And it was hard not to do it a month ago.
Yeah.
But we threw the Grinch bats in there kind of last minute as we just had the idea late. But look at how it did, and the people who swung them in the Halloween series. We had no idea how the Halloween series was going to do. And with these bat models and the designs, people just fell in love with them. And of course, they went extremely fast and were super popular. And we're so thankful. And everybody who missed out on the USSSA Scared that sold out in 4 minutes, you'll have another chance to grab the Scared After Dark. And everybody who has just been dying to get the upgraded version of Dave's signature Blackout that we've been kind of not talking a lot about, but we're about to start talking a good bit about as we'll be swinging them on the fields. I've hit that bat more than any of you, as I tend to swing the senior bats more than the U-Trip bats because we're senior ballers. So I will tell you, it is an incredible, incredible bat that I've just been in love with. And it was really hard to hold till now. But as you know, again, we wanted to start off 2026 with a bang, and your Blackout is just that. And of course, the powder coating
Yeah.
that you
But
love.
I,
You've been talking about the powder coating for your bat. As good as it was and responsive, the powder coating's even better, right?
exactly. I've been talking about that for years, and I wanted to kind of get that in there too, but you already remembered it. Is what I call it a powder coat. A lot of people call it a matte finish, but I think ours is
Mhm.
different. So we're going to call it a powder
Yeah,
coat on that barrel, and actually helps with performance a little bit. So that's actually an upgrade. The X composite anti-aging stuff is an upgrade too that we're going with for next year, and I think that's a big plus because it actually adds so many things to that bat. Sound being one of them, which does a little bit to performance. I mean, not performance, but you like hearing that nice sound. And with that comes that was an extra added thing that we didn't ask for because of the X composite bat. But
yeah.
there's a few things that it actually helps out with that will benefit a lot of people out there. So
Yeah.
definitely,
Yeah, faster through the infield on swing one, crisper feel, a louder sound. It's uh it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun swinging them. And like I said, the big thing is just getting our best products out early. And the other reason is what caught me off guard in my first few years with the bat company is the start of the year being so important with the Challenge Cup and the TOCs, and that's here on the East Coast. It's the West Coast. They have nothing going on this time of year, or
no,
nothing that I know of, or there's nothing big, or even JBI, our great short porch ambassador. He told me at the front of the season out west where they are, not a lot going on. And right here, dude, the action on the East Coast is January, February. And we kind of got caught off guard on it the last few years because we weren't really launching our biggest and best things for this year that early because we're like, man, it's the winter, it's the off season, and then the Challenge Cup and the TOCs would happen, and we wouldn't have one, we wouldn't have enough stock. Two, we wouldn't have our best products early. And for players to go ahead and get in the short porch bat. Then in March and April, we're trying to get them in bats. Well, on the East Coast, a lot of the big tournaments has already happened, and you have a while before the Smokies on the East Coast, right? So
yeah,
there's kind of a lull there. Well, we kind of live and learn from our mistakes, and now, boom, here we are, right ahead of the TOCs and all the Challenge Cups. We have great USSSA and senior designs hitting the market, so people can get in short porch bats and hopefully stay in them all year.
yes, definitely. I like it, and we've been preaching about this for a long time. Is we have a schedule that we have to go by. Nothing
Yeah,
gets put in front of the schedule or behind the schedule. There's a bat coming out next year that might be put up a little bit in front of the schedule, but we won't talk about that. But that one might move up a little bit, but it's got to fit into a certain area. We're going to step on other bats that we have that are coming out that are on that schedule. So
yeah.
everything's for next year on what we're going to do. Depending on the timeline too. We talked about this the other day. The timeline on the new tech that's coming out. So one hot mama, one
One hot mama. So I know only about four people in this world have seen the one hot mama. The one hot mama paint jobs, there's a USSSA and a senior version that will be out mid-month. They're really cool, right? They're really cool. So.
They
Okay.
they're nice. You wanted to? Were you going to show something tonight?
Oh
Or
yeah,
do that later? You want
absolutely.
to do that later?
I got one to show.
Yeah. You have it now, or you got to want to do it
Yeah,
later?
I got it right now. I'll go ahead and show it. I know a lot of people are tuning in asking about the specs and the paint job. So guys, to first reveal, fresh off the press, the short porch, scared after dark, right there.
That's it.
After dark. That's it right there, guys. And as you can see, it has the blood red writing, the blood red handle, the spin tech knob, and it is a powder coat black, ghost face and all. It is really cool. And this is our 12 and a half ounce in load DDT. And guys, I'll tell you right now, nobody's disappointed with this thing.
No.
Nobody will be disappointed with it. So here it is right here for all of you waiting. This thing is badass, and yeah, it is. It is one high performing stick for the USSSA, and we will know over the next 48 hours. We will have the clock ticking. Miss Leslie will have the West Coast fix. Sorry, West Coast guys, we weren't trying to cut you off. Maybe she did. I don't know. She's a big SEC football fan, Georgia Bulldog. So if she cut off the West Coast people on purpose, it wasn't me. It wasn't Dave. Y'all need to call and talk to Miss Leslie K for cutting off the West Coast from getting scared. But here we go. Uh, we'll show Dave's next week on his podcast, but that's the reveal of the scared USSSA After Dark. And the Scared series, it's already been fire for what, a few months now since Halloween, and now the After Dark, man, we made it better. So now you have it there. It's going to be really cool, and we can't wait to launch it. It will be available at the same time as the launch to the public, reps, everybody at a first come first served basis. We will be live, taking in the orders as fast as we can. All our partners who carry our bats across the country will have them also, and we can't wait. We just absolutely can't wait, and then we're going to follow it up with the badass 2026 DDT Blackout Dave Velasquez signature. The week after that, I'll tell you, it's just such a great way to start the year, and I'm glad we did it this way versus years past where we didn't launch big things till March or April. Because Dave, you've been doing this a long time, and how many bat companies just waited till March and April to drop their big stuff?
The majority of bat companies wait till March and April. Definitely. There's a real big one that won't do it till May and
Yeah.
June, and they'll do it, and then they'll do something again before the end of the year, like going into Vegas. They'll put something out, but it's a little teaser. And usually, here's the deal too: a lot of bat companies, only do it because they got to that trend where they just did it once a year and would put bats
Yeah.
out. But we're changing so much because we're catering to so many different people, right? Because we're doing we're doing a slow bat speed, medium bat speed, and high bat speed, which I think ours is going more toward, high and low,
Yeah.
because of the new tech that we got out there right now. So
Well,
we're
it's just
going low.
crossing over better than we
Yes.
ever had before. We
Yes.
used to have to make a wider range with bats. Well, we've gotten a lot better at it. So now, yeah, it's just kind of two gears right now. And from like the Brandon Murray models and the DDT to your model, there's nothing really in between,
No.
So you don't need it. We promise you, we've dissected it. You don't need anything in between there. So and let's face it, what we found out is a lot of the hard swingers just going to grab the blackout bats and, and anyway, so, so there really wasn't even need to, they just would go right out the wrapper into the games. That's what they wanted. So we just got to give the market what they're kind of looking for, which is the two type of models. But no, there's no senior scared guys. That's the blackout Dave signature powder coat. We do have some of those available. Not only of Dave's will they be some whole sizes, they'll actually be 25, 26, but there's going to be some 26 and a half and 27s in Dave's bat. First ever time we did that. And this bat right here, as everybody knows, the Scared U Trip only comes in half size. this 25.5, we're going to have 26.5 and a few 27.5s. But they, you know,
I,
Dave's bat is actually going to have a half size thrown in the whole sizes,
the
which I
reason,
thought was really cool. Yeah.
yes, the reason why
Yeah.
he listen to this, guys. The reason why he did that is to dial you in a little bit more, because we
Yeah.
were talking about there's an area in that, right, and only short
Yeah.
course did this shit, right. There's an area in there where you're getting, the ounces are might be going up to like 8/10 or 7/10, but you wanted to get a little bit closer, maybe 4/10 of an ounce on the end or on the hand. So you dialed it in where, and I will be getting all those weight distribution numbers for you later too. So everybody's going to want to know what those weight distribution numbers are on how in increments that they go out in whole sizes and half sizes. But what that's doing for the public, the people that want to get these bats, is it's dialing it in a little bit better for them, right? Because of the senior
Yeah.
market.
Yeah, and and that's just it. As we try to dial in the senior market a little closer, and we're finding out that 26.5 is real popular in senior, as 25.5 is super popular in U trip. So with the 26.5 being real popular, it's kind of that tweener for senior. So I think a lot of people, find that that bat fits them. We wanted to have that for Dave's bat in the middle and kind of see how it goes. And I'm pretty sure it'll go well, and
Oh
that'll
yeah.
be something we'll keep around with Dave's signature bat in the future, is that 26.5 size, even though we have the whole sizes. So I was super excited about that. I thought that was a great idea. Again, we have the SpinTech knobs. The DDTs do not carry the SpinTech barrels because of the weighting right now, because it's mid-loaded and end-loaded, guys. So they don't have the SpinTech, which just would have added more weight right now. So that may come in the future. I know we get asked about that all the time. But right now, because of the weighting of the DDTs, it is flat perfect. There's no SpinTech on the barrels like we have on a lot of our one piece bats. So the one piece bats aren't mid loaded, so they don't have the mid load and the end load. So we're not carrying the extra weight.
Yeah. So that's that. Then guys, it's something that we will never have. It's just something we're working on for
Yeah,
the
it's something we're
future.
working on.
And
Well, it's
just
something we're still working on.
yeah, we're
Yeah,
still
we did it in the One Nation bat, and we had some kind of weighting issues last year. It is something we can do. The problem was is we were, especially in the lighter bats, it was a real weight issue. So we're working on that for the future, and I know we're getting closer to that coming out. But right now, the DDTs have no spin tech on them now, and the mid load and end load. I mean, we know how well the DDT works. People are raving about it. Everybody who swung them loves them, and here we are. Just again putting our best foot forward, and the Scared After Dark Scared series has just went wild. It has
oh
just
yeah.
absolutely went wild.
Yeah.
So
It actually surprised us how good that thing took off, you know.
yeah.
But yeah, I cannot wait going into 2026. We have X bats coming too. They're on pre-order right now, right? What are those?
Yeah, so most of the X backs, not most of them, they're all trickling in right now again because of the shipping lane. We've already shipped out some of the pre-sold ones day before or yesterday, some today, some more ship out tomorrow, some more will ship out Friday. The estimated ship date was tomorrow, so they're right on track. They're all shipping out to everybody, and we will have some left over. That is a super popular bat for the Blackout X's. But they will be out to everybody who pre-purchased those bats, and I hope everybody is excited to grab them, as that bat is a short porch favorite also.
I love
As
that.
is as
Yep.
is the Balanced Sunshine. We still have Balanced Sunshines. People hit me up every hour. Do we still have Sunshines and stuff? Guys, there was a lot of Sunshines. Balanced bats, we always have to have balanced bats in stock, and we do have them on the shelf at Shoreport.
Yes, and I think when I get there, because we're planning on a lot of stuff when I do get there, these will be actually getting this information will be getting to a lot of people sooner, because we'll be doing podcasts every other day, is what I got
Yeah,
doing, and especially with new bats coming in, and just us hitting on hit tracks, weight distribution numbers, all that'll be updated. You'll be getting it fast, real fast. Whenever me and Tammy go down there and start working. I hear my office is almost done.
Yeah. So yeah, everything's on it but the roof. So, uh, Sean's did a great job. Sean, that guy, he can do anything, but it looks amazing. And yeah, it just has to have a roof inside the warehouse. And that'll be it. They're just gonna drop the can lights in, and it'll be done. So we're getting closer, and then Sean's already started on the store side. There will be a destination store for people to come in and shop next year. So he's already put some cabinets in there for that. Leslie's already been stocking a ton extra gear. We do have a lot of gear on hand right now that's not even on our website that we just haven't got to get on our website yet, as we've been ramping up the gear for the store, and fielding gloves, and more fielding gloves are coming in, these kind of things. So we have to get a lot of that stuff on our website. And there, as you've seen, if you've been on our website, there's been a few upgrades and Leslie has done. It looks great right now. So yeah, jump on our website, guys, and check it out and see what we have. And if you're a rep, I'll tell you this: if you want to know if we have something, check our website. So I get texts all the time from people. Do we have this pair of batting gloves or this batting stock? Don't check the website. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to check the website, see if it's in stock. If we hadn't put it on the website, I wouldn't know. Yeah. So um,
Balls. We got
all the balls are currently in stock. I believe every ball we have. I believe we sold out of USSSA balls again today. 2 weeks from our next shipment of USSSA balls. Of course, we got like 7,000 dozen balls coming in, so they'll be stocked up. Sometime later this month or early February. I'm not sure. They just randomly show up at the office. So I don't do the balls. That's why I say they randomly show up. So
we got training balls still in stock. People can go
we
get
have training balls in stock. The only ball that we even have baseballs in stock for any rec departments that need them. Only balls we don't have in stock right now are the USSSA mortar that just sold out today, and we have some coming probably week after next. So
sweet. Bat bags. This is where we had a shipment of bat bags and they probably sold out. Now we have some other bat bags coming in, but it's going to be a few weeks for that, right?
yeah, so we sold out of the black, red, white, and blue bat bags fairly quick, and people were wanting. We were just talking to a lot of people about the gray ones coming in that were, next month's shipment. People wanted to pre-purchase them, so we put them on the website for anybody who wanted to pre-purchase them and pick the gray bags up as the dark gray bat bags. It was a super popular color because they just match about everything. So everybody loves the bat bags. I think it's the best bat bag I've ever seen. There may be a better one out there. I've never seen one.
No.
So
sturdy.
yeah,
It's amazing.
yeah. So yeah, those are good, and you can pre-purchase those, and when we get them in, we'll ship them out. We Man, we ran out of the bag boxes. We were putting them in 2 boxes and shrink wrapping the last few. So more bag boxes come in today because we didn't expect to sell them that fast. It
Yeah.
was kind of funny, but so if you get a shrink wrapped box in, that's why. But I'll tell you what, that you're not going to hurt it shrink wrapped out like that. It was kind of a funny story. I think Christian and Leslie did it to like 3 bags. You should have seen them. It was hilarious.
Left Field Lounge. Left Field Lounge is booming, isn't it?
Left Field Lounge grew by 50%. We were trying to get to 100, and she went straight to 150 with the cool gear she's putting out right now. And and January's. I think some people seen the post about January's Left Field Lounge that will be shipping out starting January 1st. Whoever joins January 1st and after theirs, we're still shipping December. I think most people can I say what December's was, or is it I still can't talk about it. Most everybody's done seen it and loved it. It was really cool.
Yeah,
So yeah, Monday, or not Monday, Thursday, we we'll be able to show last month's Thursday or Friday. How about that? But I'll tell you this: January is my favorite, and you'll see why. It is it again. It's exclusive. You can only get the Left Field Lounge if you join the Left Field Lounge. You get an exclusive merchandise not available to the public, design done by Leslie herself, and she puts out some badass stuff. So,
sweet, sweet. I know she does. Very talented in that area when it
yeah.
comes to a lot of areas, but that's one of her best ones is design things. And look what she's done with bats and stuff through the years.
Oh
So
yeah,
like,
she's definitely become quite the artist, and she is the artist, the architect, the brains behind Short Porch, and we're lucky to have her.
sweet. Anything else you got for me?
Oh man, so much. I'll say this: Brandon Murray, the man, Brandon Murray. Brandon Murray he has been tasked with some with some fairly big tasks for next year. And Brandon might have hit a home run today with one of his tasks, and we'll be talking about that next week. So that's good. That could be a big reveal next week also. And as we get that worked out. So you might want to tune in to see what Brandon has for us next week. And the baseball bats are still haven't shipped yet to us. We're painting them right now. We're finishing painting them. The BB Core baseball bats will be dropping. That we will be kind of showing the world just how great our BB Core high school and college baseball bats are. So, but yeah, big news today, it looks like, right?
Well, big news today. And for one, I don't know which big news we're not going to talk about, but we do have another. We do have another on next Wednesday's podcast. Some big news coming out next Wednesday. I wanted
Yeah.
everybody before we lost everybody because we are winding this down. Is me and Jeff is going to get on here next Wednesday and talk about some big news that
Yeah.
is happening. We're not going to go too far into it right now because of course, we want you guys. There's some little things that have to be tied up or tied in to everything that's going
Yeah.
on. And
Yeah.
but we got some exciting news for next Wednesday. I think it's exciting, across that senior board. But yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. But you guys tune in for next week that we got some big news that we just
Yeah.
found out today. Um,
Yeah.
and
All this kind of came down today and over a 4 hour period in which I think I spent 4 straight hours on the telephone. So,
yeah,
obviously, if I'm spending 4 hours on the phone about something, it's a big deal for Short Porch. So, yeah, man, I'm excited about that. I think we should get all that worked out, and we'll be talking about that next week. Obviously, your signature bat also after we get the U-Trip bat launch. But just one thing after another with Short Porch, and man, it's going to be
it,
a
it,
ride.
it, it
January and February is going to be a
it's
ride.
what, because I heard the news today, and I come to expect it every week with Short Porch because there's so much good news coming out, and different tech that's coming out that we get to play with. But I'm excited about next year. We're far exceeding everything that we thought about, plus a few. We didn't know this was going to happen today. That actually was a pleasant surprise. But yeah, I can't wait to announce it next week. You know, if if
Yeah.
if it stays in house, that would be pretty good. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited about that one, and guys, but what I can tell you is the Scared After Dark, that thing, that's gonna be that's gonna be a real good one. Obviously, everybody already knows it's how good or bad it is. It needs no introduction. So
Sweet.
we'll be putting that out. Leslie will be putting that out. Happy New Year to everybody, right? What a
Oh,
great
definitely
year.
Happy New Year. Yeah,
Yeah, what a
at the beginning, I didn't get to say that, but I'm glad you brought it up. Say it now. Hey, everybody be safe. Don't eat too much. And definitely, guys, if you drink too much, or girls, you drink too much, get an Uber. We want to see you back here
oh
next
yeah.
week.
Yeah,
So
guys. Yeah, get an Uber. You're dead right on that. There's no with Lyft and Uber and these things these days. There's no reason to drink and drive. But everybody get out there, enjoy it. I hope everyone has a better 2026 than 2025. I know we will.
yeah,
We will definitely. We're definitely going to have a great 2026 with a lot of fun and everything we have going on. And Dave coming to Savannah, Georgia,
we,
and it's just going to be the talk. Dave and Tammy coming to Savannah. So,
Me and Todd talked yesterday, and he's already got me a list of everywhere I'm going to go, and it's a big. So I cannot wait to get there and talk to everybody. So definitely, I cannot, I'm packing as we talk. I mean, I'm moving stuff around, and every day we've already got a pod going, out in the front yard, and we're loading everything in that. And I cannot wait to get there. Bought a van. So
yeah,
that's a plus too. So I got a van going, gonna have short porch all over it when I get there, you know.
yeah. Yeah, guys, Dave bought a van. I told him not to. He did it anyway. He don't listen to me.
I actually, yeah, I didn't listen to him. He told
I,
me,
I told him not to talk about the bat shavers. He did that too. So
I
I,
had to, man. I had to say something. I had to
I
say
I'll tell you what, I can't. Yeah, somebody's asking about the after dark drop, but yeah, guys, we're gonna announce that in the next 48 hours as the shipping lanes with stuff getting to our shipping warehouse didn't quite work out with the holidays, so it will drop between Friday and Wednesday. But yeah, Dave, he don't listen to me. I got no control over Wild Dave. So hey,
hey, look where
yeah,
we're at, bud. Look where we're at.
look,
Like we had 160 people on here tonight, right? And they're
uh,
still in tune. They're still tuning in. They want to
I,
hear all
man,
this shit.
I told Leslie. Here's what I told her before I got on. I was like, Dave's gonna be Dave. What? There's nothing I can do with him. Dave's gonna be Dave. So just let him go, let him fly, and it'll be all right. It'll all be all right. So
I don't
you
think
know
I
that
went in as deep as I wanted to, though. I didn't think I went in that
that
deep.
that's my disclosure. Short porch. We're here to promote one of the greatest recreational sports
Exactly.
there is. Softball, baseball, golf. All these great pastimes that everybody plays. We're here. We're here to talk about that and to get people off the couch, outside doing stuff,
Yeah,
and that means from 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, they need to be outside. They don't need to be inside. I know they get a lot of stuff for Christmas. Get them out, get them involved, get them in sports. And if you're 70, get out, get outside, get out the house. It doesn't matter what age you are, just keep on moving and keep going. That's the thing.
definitely, 100%, bud.
All right, my man, I'm going to leave it to you. Thank you for having me on. Happy New Year again. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
All right, buddy.
All right, man.
All right, everybody. 106. Stop what you're doing. I got something to say. Merry. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year too. And I really do mean that from the bottom of my heart. Everybody that was on here tonight, everybody's going to actually look at this again because they want to hear about everybody said. We've been on here for an hour and 20 minutes. And guys, subscribe, join, follow. You got 100 something people, 155 people here tonight, 160 people here tonight. Guys, just this is what we do every week. We talk about things. We're transparent. We talk about all this stuff. Join, friend me, follow me. I've got close to 6,000 people Join Show Porch. They've got almost 20,000 people on their side with Show Porch and that group, that page that they have. Go Facebook. You don't have to join the membership channel. That's just so people that I can vent to people and talk about different things that's going on throughout the softball industry. Either a fast pitch, a slow pitch. We can do U-Trip. I talk about that too, and then senior ball. So be a part of the movement. Basically, I'm going to get off. Hope you guys have a safe New Year's and take care of yourself. And I'll see you again next week, gentlemen. Hey, hold on. There's a bat demo going on right now. Mikey Garabay's throwing it on. It's down off Broadway. You guys have seen the flyer. I'm headed over there right now. I'm leaving. I'm not even going to eat. I'm going to go there, show up, and I'm going to talk to people that's in that bat demo. It's a Show Porch bat demo. It's in an enclosed area. That's where I'm headed at right now. I'm going to do Facebook Live from there. I'm going to try to do Facebook Live from there. I'm kind of walking in something I've never been to before because of the facility that it's at. And I will try to do Facebook Live in about another 45 minutes from there. He's supposed to have like over 40 people there because he only can have so many because it's a little small venue. So that's where I'm headed right now. Stay tuned, gentlemen.